Welcome yogis. Today we are doing a class that I'm calling Yoga and Roll. We're going to be starting off doing some mobility exercises on a foam roller, and we're going to end with actively foam rolling mostly the muscles of our legs. So today, if you do not own a foam roller, that's completely fine. You can roll up your yoga mat and use it in place of the long roller. And if you have any size roller, short, longer, the mini travel ones, those will be appropriate for the end of class. You can also use a rolling pin. You could also use a large softball. Anything that you can put your weight on and not crush would be appropriate to do foam rolling on. So you also need a yoga mat. I'm going to be facing you for our yoga practice, and for some of the mobility exercises, I'll be facing side on. So feel free to put on your favorite music, get whatever foam roll or foam roll variation, I guess, that you would have at home, your yoga mat or a towel, and if you have been told by a physician or medical professional to not work out, to not do yoga, or to not do foam rolling, please refrain from this video today. Okay, we are going to start mobility for our shoulders and actually even a little bit of ab work today. For this portion, I'll be side on for just a little bit. You want to place your rolled up yoga mat or long foam roller lengthways, because we're going to lie on it, head to tail. So sit yourself down on the very short edge of your roller or yoga mat, and place your head on as well. You don't want your head hanging off. Here we want our feet stable on the floor. Feel like we're very even, so we feel nice support in our spine. Take a deep breath in through the belly and the rib cage, and exhale, let it out. We're going to start to play with some shoulder mobility. Bring your arms up over shoulders so your palms are facing each other. And we are going to reach our fingertips up like we're trying to touch the ceiling. And then we're going to let our shoulder blades melt over the foam roller. Inhale. Exhale. Let's try a couple more here. So protraction and retraction of our shoulders. Continuing to play with our range of motion. We're going to do a little clap right in front of our chest. Little clap. And then we're going to do a big hug open. Clap. And I got this wall behind me, so I'm a little bit restricted with my back arm. But see how big you can make your clap and hug. I'm actually going to move myself just a little bit so that way I'm not hitting the wall. And you might feel this as a stretch in your chest or in the front of your shoulder. We call that the anterior deltoid. Continue to open and clap. Next time clap, hold up. We're going to do a little scissor. One arm front and one arm back. So see how far back you can go without feeling pain or like you have to arc away from your roller. You should feel, again, a stretch maybe in the front of your armpit. And the next series we're going to do is some snow angels. So it's just like you're a little kid, you're laying on your back, you're going to do some snow angels on the ground. Bring your arms open to a big letter T, and I might be restricted from my treadmill behind me, but you're going to reach your arms up as high as you can with the backs of your hands still on the floor. Reach your arms back out to T, flip palms down, roll hands to the side of hips. And inhale, flow overhead, exhale, flow down. Now some people, if they're really tight, they get to about here and their hands lift up off the floor. I want you to honor that. Don't try to force your hands down if your shoulder is naturally bringing you up. Just go with the flow. And some people feel this, again, to the front of their armpit area. There's a lot of attachments of things, your pecs, your chest. your biceps, the very top of your biceps where it connects into your shoulder. You might even be feeling a little bit of a stretch there. We're going to do one more. Sweep up, sweep down, and then bring your elbows out to the side. 90-degree elbows. You're trying to let gravity take hold and open the chest. Breathing in through the heart. Out. Let's take one more breath in. This is a great stretch you can do if you have rounded shoulders. If you're a person that you're doing a lot of Zoom meetings for work or with your kids, this is great to open up the chest from sitting at the computer too long. Let's just bring the hands down, roll the hands back into the hips, and plug your fingertips into the floor. Now we're starting to activate our core, our stomach muscles a little bit. So a couple things. I don't want you to bring your forearms to the floor. I want you to keep active tripod fingertips into the floor and think about your low back imprinting into your yoga mat or foam roller, whatever you have underneath you. You're going to lift one knee up 90 degree so your shin is parallel to the floor. Blow all the air out of your stomach and then set down. Change leg. Lift and lower. Now just notice being on your fingertips and one foot, you're less stable. So your core muscles, which act like a corset around your spine, they have to activate a little bit harder. We're going to take one more. Hold this knee up. Now this is the hard part because we're going 2 legs up. If you don't want to do it, you stay with the alternating leg from the floor. If you're with me, right here, you're like, ooh, I'm making little movements right and left, and you can see I'm kind of swaying side to side too, shaking a little bit. We're going to see if we can tap one toe and lift, tap the other toe and lift. So the core has to work harder here. We just did a progression. If you don't like it, you're doing the same alternating move, but feet stay solid on the floor, or 1 foot at least. Woo. Let's try one more here, down and up, and bring your feet back to the floor. Very nice. Now we're going to carefully come off of the roller, palms to the ground, tuck your chin, lift up, and then let's set our butt down on the ground. We are done with this longer roller, or any roller, until more towards the end of class, so you can move that off to the side. We're going to come to all fours, hands and knees. My wrists are directly under my shoulders, my knees directly under hips, and I spread my palms out. Inhale for cat and cow, lift the chest, look up. Exhale, nod your chin down to chest, hollow the belly. Feel a little crunch. Inhale, expanding open. Exhale, round. Let's try 2 more. The next series of flowing movements, we're going to be working into our core and shoulders again. This is a downward dog into a plank. And you want to think of your back as like a wave. We're going to undulate through the wave of our spine, flatten your back, come into high plank. This is plank on hands and toes. Soften the knees, push your hips up, look at the belly, and think of your spine like a moving wave. We're going to roll up through the low back, mid back, upper back, lengthen out. We're in high plank. Soften the knees, drive your hips back, belly to spine, rolling through again. We're taking a total of 4 of these down dog to plank rolls. So if you want to go slower than me, there's only 4 of them. Squeeze the muscles that surround your armpits. That'll help you use your lats in your upper back. It's a big back muscle. And then after your 4th flow, come back into downward dog, pedal out your heels. 1 heel down, 1 heel up, sway the hips. Try a couple more. And hold. Onto the knees. And lifting up. We're going to take our sun salutations from a kneeling position, meaning we're not going to stand up and down. We're going to stay on the knees. If you need to fold up your mat to create a happy pad for your knees, that's okay. Or if you have a towel or a cushion nearby, if your knees bother you, I recommend cushioning right here. We want to stay upright, hips under shoulders, and inhale, lift your hands up, touch, clap together, and when we come down, we're going to push our hips back and land in all fours. Round through cat and cow. You've already done this. Cat and cow. Do as many as what feels good to you. And then we are going to spring forward into a high plank. Ready? Flat back, high plank. If you would like to come down to your knees for kneeling plank and chaturanga, yogi push-up, that's fine. Otherwise, we're going to lower halfway and hips to the floor. Point your toes to the back, roll your shoulder blades into the back pocket. Here's our cobra. Now, a lot of people tell me, Tracy, how do I get my arms straight? You might not. You might be here for your cobra, and that might be very appropriate for your back. So you find whatever height works for you. Squeeze your butt, curling 10 toes under. Let's go plank and down dog. Pedal your heels. And now bring your knees back to the mat. Sweeping up, shifting your hips back, and now up, look up, and touch the hands, almost coming into a back bend. So I'm lifting my chest, come back to all fours. Use your core. Round and arc the back for your cat-cow as many times as you feel comfortable with. And maybe you don't like the flow today. Maybe your back is just saying, stay with the cat-cow. That's perfectly fine. If you're coming with me, we're going to walk our hands a little bit more forward, coming into plank of choice. This time I'm going to show on my knees, just to show you that that's okay to do. Knees or toes, and think about a quarter to halfway down to the floor. Elbows skim the side of your body, and then your hips come down in a completely separate movement to set up for cobra. You could choose a baby cobra, medium cobra, or full. You choose. Keep your hips grounded, squeeze your butt, and come back up into plank, downward facing dog. Let's pedal out our heels. This one feels really good for the Achilles and our calves. If you have plantar fasciitis, this is a great one to do. We have one more flow through the salutation. Knees down. Now shift your hips back, sweep arms, up touch, inhale. Exhale, all fours. Inhale, open chest. Exhale, round. Now you can do as many cat and cows as you like. I'm going to do one more and then get into whatever plank is feeling best for me. So walk your hands forward when you're ready to plank. Knees or toes. Chaturanga, chest forward and down. Hips down. Cobra of choice. Baby cobra, teenager cobra, or adult cobra. And come back into plank. Downward facing dog, freestyle your heels. You could shake your head yes, shake your head no. You could press your armpits towards the floor. Find what feels good for you in this pose. And we're about to walk up. So instead of knees coming down, we're walking our feet slowly up to hands. And we're gonna roll up really slow. And shake everything out. Strength series. You don't need a block, but if you're a person that likes to have one handy, that's okay. In our strength series, we are going to see one balance posture. I'm going to show it to you sideways so you know what it looks like when we get into it. We're not doing it yet. I'm just showing you. Floating half moon looks like this. Whatever leg is forward, you soften the knee. You'll be lifting through your leg that's backwards, and then you're going to open your arms, and you're floating in space. You don't have to touch the floor today. I won't be showing that option. I'll be kind of hanging out and using my obliques to help stabilize me. So that's where we're going. Let's start this strength series together. We're going to have our feet at about hip width apart for Warrior One. And I want this Warrior One today to start back with your left foot. So your left foot steps back half of a lunge stride, spin your back heel down, and your back toe is off to about a 45-degree angle. Roll your hips towards the front of your mat and bend the forward knee so the knee is right up over that ankle. So some people like to hold their Warrior One right here, hands by the side. Some people like to do arms out sideways or arms up. You choose. Make sure this forward knee is not collapsing inward. We want to think about our forward knee as opening out so it's in line with the second and third toe. Keep your heart high, keep your pelvis tucked. We're going to be moving into a triangle pose. Today's triangle, you could reach for the floor or the shin. Bring your hands to heart. We are going to straighten the forward leg but not lock, and we're going to give this back leg a little bit of a wiggle back. So heel toe, walk it back. Feet are perpendicular to each other. Reach your arms open, hinge forward, bring hand to shin or the floor, you choose, and this top hand. If you prefer hand up in the air, that's fine. If you prefer hand on hip, that's fine as well. Some people like to even reset their shoulder by doing some circles. So you pick whatever feels good for you. Hold here another 2 breaths. And coming into extended side angle. So lifting up, bending into your forward knee like you're about to do Warrior Two. You're going to reach to me, bend the elbow, place the elbow or forearm onto the thigh, and reach the back bicep up over ear. Again, if you're dealing with a shoulder issue today, keep your hand on your hip. And you could look straight ahead, down, and some people say you could look up. I don't like that for my neck, but if you like it for your neck, that's your choice. Opening up the top shoulder, half bind option. You could also bring your hand to your low back. Hold here another breath. Inhale. Exhale, reach out like Warrior Two and walk your rear foot. This would be, again, your left. Walk it in, until you're able to get balance. Now floating half moon. Finding a spot on the floor to look at. Soft knee through that front leg. Come down and hold. This is the one I was showing you from the side view. Hold for 2 more breaths. And lift back up. Shake everything out. Same exact series, opposite side of the body. Take your feet about hip width apart. This time it will be your right leg that steps back into Warrior One. Let's step back half of a lunge stride so it's not too long, and have some width between your feet so you feel balanced. Roll your hips forward, tuck your pelvis, bend the forward knee. Choose your favorite arm variation. Sometimes I like this one, like what we did on the foam roll, 90-degree elbow. Today I like this, palms facing each other. Focus on one moving spot. In yoga, we call this our drishti, or our focal spot. Helps keep us on balance. Hands to heart, prepare legs for triangle. You need to move that back leg. So, heels will in general be in line with each other, feet perpendicular, straighten the forward leg, arms out, hinge to knee, hand to shin or the floor, and you pick your favorite arm variation for this one. You can even circle out that arm. Feel your whole foot gripping into the floor with the arches lifting. Take one more breath in. Exhale, lift up like a warrior two. Hinge to knee, so fingertips reach forward, elbow onto the thigh, back bicep up over ear, or if you prefer, hand to hip. This is our extended side angle. Squeezing your glutes, holding in your abs like a corset. If you would like to come into half bind, bring that top arm around to the back of the body, like you're putting your fingertips into your back jean pocket. Hold here for another breath. And lift up like warrior two. Heel toe, the rear foot, that's your right, all the way up, so foot is under hip. And then turn your palms so they face out. Begin to hinge into floating half moon. Look down at the floor, hold the arms tight, hold the back leg tight, squeeze your butt, squeeze your obliques. 2 more breaths. And stand up, mountain pose, Tadasana, shake out. We have balance. I know you're like, we just did balance, but we're gonna do it again. So I will be off of my mat for this because we have a little bit of a step that we're going to do. So take your feet off the mat if you have a very sticky mat, and we're going to step forward with our right foot. Step forward with your right foot. Right knee soft, reach your arms open. We call this one falling angel. And step backward, changing legs. Left foot forward, lead forward with your heart, arms out. You have that drishti again, that focal spot, that one unmoving thing in the room that you are looking at. We're just flowing through our falling angel, squeezing our glutes. One more time. Step and lift and let it go. So you could continue to hold falling angel, or you could come with me into warrior three. I'm going to reach my arms out wide, and I gotta step away from my door here. Take right foot forward, and flex your rear heel, soften standing knee, tip forward. It's like you're peering over the edge of the Grand Canyon. Falling angel is your option. And no, I'm not sick. My nose just always wants to run and sniffle when I do this pose. When you rise up, use your strong hips, drive your back left knee up and to the front, 90-degree knee. Hold the abs in tight, like what we did on the foam roller. Hold for 4, 3, 2, 1, mountain pose. Same exact series, opposite sides. So this time, our left foot will be forward, right leg back. Arms open out, airplane wings. Step forward, knee soft. Tip down, warrior three. This side's harder for me. Squeeze the glutes hard. Pull your back into your butt, butt into your back. Hold for 3, 2, knee up 90 degree, half of a box. Right knee up, belly tight. Holding 4, 3, 2, and 1. Shake out. Good news, we can't fall when we're on the floor, at least theoretically we can't. So we're coming down onto our belly for half bow. This is also a big quad stretch. If you're a person that has a hard time reaching and grabbing your ankle, you may want to have a towel or a yoga strap to help you pull that heel in. So, laying on belly, let's take the right arm out, and it's those tripod fingertips that press down to the floor. Left heel back to butt, and you could grab outside or inside of your heel, whatever's feeling better to you. Flex your foot, push your fingertips into the floor, and start to lift your chest. Now let's make sure the knees don't splay open from each other. You want to keep them about hip width apart. Imagine your left kneecap is going to slide back and up for you to feel a greater stretch in the front of your thigh. That's called your quadricep. And if you get a cramp in your foot or hamstring, just let it go. Take another breath in. Exhale out. And change sides. Fingertips down. Bend right. Reach back. Grab. Flex your foot. Make sure your knees are in alignment. Fingertips down. Lift your chest. Imagine knees sliding back and up. And breathe through. This side is my tighter side. So you're going to notice you have one leg that's happier with this and one leg that is less happy. Or maybe you're just really tight on both sides too. Hold for another breath in. And exhale. Let it go. Whew. Let your forehead rest. Two more active postures. We have locust pose. These are all ways to progress up to full bow. So we just did half bow. Next is locust. Then we will try full bow. If you're having knee or hip pain today, I would recommend either repeating the half bow to each side that we just did, or repeating this locust that I'm about to show you twice. For locust, hands could be by side, or my favorite is to clasp my hands if you can get that grip. Squeeze your butt cheeks, lift your feet and kneecaps off the floor, and now imagine your chest and rib cage lifting. Pressing your fists or fingertips towards your heels. You're not letting your head come up. You're keeping your neck nice and long through the back. No creases to the front or the back of the neck. Holding for 4, 3, 2, and drop. Create a hand sandwich, forehead rest. So again, while you're resting, just know that if that was really hard for you, that back bend, I would like you to maybe try that again. If you are real regular at trying full bow in yoga class, you could try to grab both heels with me. If at any time your back or hips or knees, anything complain, come out of it, go back to locust or half bow. So coming with me into full bow or whatever option you prefer. We're gonna bend 1, 2 knees. You could grab inside or outside of your ankles, just whatever your preference is. Grab and grab. Now obviously, if you can't get the grab on both sides, you're choosing locust or half bow. Flex your feet, make sure your knees have not splayed out. Long neck, and just like the locust, begin to kick your knees and thighs up, kick your rib cage and chest up. If you're in half bow, you will switch in 4, 3, 2, stay with me. If you're full bow, change legs for half bow. For 4, 3, 2, 1, and everybody down. Reset for your back. Child's pose. Balasana is the Sanskrit for this one. Knees wide, toes together, stretch. So the yoga is done. Time for foam rolling again. I am going to use my favorite foam roller, my Trigger Point foam roller that has these little grooves on it. If you wanted to use the same foam roller, the long one that you used at the beginning of class, or if you're using a rolling pin, softball, that's absolutely fine. I did have a foam rolling 101 class that is still up. on YouTube. You can reference that if you have more questions about how to foam roll. But for right now, just really short description, we are doing some myofascial release. We are trying to get some blood flow to our muscles and break up knots and adhesions. Couple things for safety. We go slow, 1 inch per second, and we never go on any joints. So we do get very close to the knee when we do certain leg foam roll positions, but we don't actually go onto the knee joint. So just so you know, no rolling on the knee joint. I'm going to show side view, and because I'm using a shorter roller, and this is probably closer to what you have at home, I'm going to do one leg at a time. So you can start with, let's call it the left leg, and you're going to place the middle of the front of your left thigh onto this foam roll. I'm just going to lay on it. Make sure you have a little bit of room to walk forward and back. It's kind of an army crawl position. And you're going to roll and walk up, not quite to the knee, but almost. And then you're going to roll, army crawl, back. Now, what is this opposite leg doing? It's supporting me. I have it bent out to the side, and I may need to adjust and shift that back leg just a little bit, especially if you have a really long femur bone. You may need to wiggle along with it. So we're going to do 2 more times, rolling forward and rolling backward. And 1 more time. I am rolling all the way up to my hip. And I'm mentally preparing to change sides. Just note, how did that feel on this left leg? Did it feel good, or was it very painful? The question I get asked the most is it supposed to hurt this much? And the answer is yes. Okay, same thing. Right side. Notice how my left leg kind of splays out to the side, and I can use my foot and knee and kind of crawl with it. We're going to crawl, walk up, and we're going to crawl, walk down. Doing a total of 4 rolls here. If you feel anything bumpy or lumpy or really painful to go over, you might want to stay on that spot for 20 to 30 seconds and just breathe through. You might feel the muscle popping over the roller if you're tight. Okay, general, about 4 rolls. This is just a little short rolling section here. You can spend a lot longer on these muscles. Okay, we're coming off. We're going to get the glutes next. That's the butt. So I'll face towards you again. You're going to place the roller or tennis ball, softball, rolling pin, whatever you got, under your knees. The hard part of this one, you got to sit up on top of the foam roller and try not to roll off. For some reason, people always want to extend their legs straight on this. You got to maintain bent knee. So strong hands down to the floor, lift your butt, sit up. Notice my knees are bent. Please bend your knees, put your feet flat on the floor. Just roll through 2 butt cheeks on that roller, and then we're going to go single cheek. Your glutes come all the way down to where your hamstring connects and all the way up to where your back connects. So try to get the full range of the entire glute and stop up top. Try not to roll off. We're going to go right leg. Locate your right leg, extend, cross. So my right leg is over the left knee like a figure 4. I want to tilt my right knee down, and I've shifted my butt cheek. Did you see that? I shifted my butt cheek. So it's just the side of my right cheek on the roller. And we're going to roll through the entire length of this right butt cheek. What other profession is there that says the word butt cheek as much as a group fitness instructor? I don't know. So we're just going real slow here. If you feel a spot that's kind of like, ooh, I got a knot there, you could stay on it and you could rock side to side. Okay, I'm going to do one more roll through. And we're going to change sides. So again, you're using a lot of arm strength and core to hold you up. Make sure you don't fall off the roller. Change legs. Cross left over right. Left over right. Left butt cheek tilts down. Left knee points down. Roll through the side. And you may decide that you have, oh yeah, this side's got something going on. So if you feel a sticking point, stay on it, rock through. Breathe through. This is a practice of how to regulate pressure for yourself. So regulate your pressure and then roll through another couple times. And come off of the foam roller when you're done with that glute. Hamstring time. This is the back of our thigh. We're going to do one leg at a time. I'm going to start with my right. So roller under right, and I am going to crisscross my ankles. So the right leg is on the bottom of this crisscross. Keep in mind you're going to hit different parts of your hamstring if your toes are pointed up, sideways, or out. So just know you can hit those different parts, lift up your butt, roll forward, and roll backward. Now you might get tired and need to set yourself down. Let me show you that. Some people have to lift and roll, lift and roll, lift and roll, and then lift and roll back. That's an okay technique to use if it's too much pressure on your shoulders to do one long roll. Let's try turning our toes in, and let's see what it feels like when we hit our hamstring from this angle. Not so bad. And then let's see what it feels like when we turn our toes out. This side is the worst one for me on this leg. And rest. So let's repeat that experiment to the opposite leg, the left here. So I want to start with it either in the middle of my hamstring or closer to my knee, but not actually on the back of the knee. Crossing right over, lift the butt, roll through the center a couple times. Again, if you have to lift, roll, stop, lift, roll, stop several times, that's okay. It doesn't mean you're bad at foam rolling. It might just mean that you have a really long femur or shorter arms. If you're ready to try with me, turn your toes in. You might feel this one a little more along the inner thigh area. And if you want to try the outer portion of that hamstring, go for it. Okay, and rest. We are going to do one more foam roll exercise. This is the one that nobody likes, but you're going to feel so much better when you get it done. It's the IT band. What does that mean? The iliotibial band. So this connects outside of the hip to the outside of the knee. And one of the ways that we can get into the IT band is through pressure. It actually does not stretch. So this is one of the only ways that your physical therapist or massage therapist can get in there is by really digging. This is not pleasant, however, it is helpful. I'm going to show you one way to regulate pressure, and then I'm going to show you another way to advance the pressure for if you need a more aggressive approach. So this one, do whatever you gotta do to get through. I will be showing side view for this one. I wanna sit with the foam roll long, and I'm going to place my hip onto the foam roll. Hip. Doesn't matter which one you do, we're doing both sides. If I'm a person that I'm like, ooh, I got some knee issues, I know I'm gonna be tight, I'm having a hard time with this foam roller anyway, here's what you do. You extend the bottom leg. Yes, that may be difficult for you. And this top leg, you're using to regulate pressure. So you can really let yourself relax, or you can use that foot to help you lift off. This foot also moves with you. So just like how we had to crawl ourselves along in the quadricep roll, you're gonna do the same thing with this foot here. It's gonna move with you. I like to come down on my elbow. Some people like to stay up on their hand. You decide. If you can lift the bottom leg, do it. If you need to drag it, that's okay. We're gonna roll towards the outside of our knee without coming onto the knee. And notice I have to move my arms and my foot with me to get the full length of this. Now, if you're a person like me who likes pain and who wants more pressure, stack your legs and roll through. We're just going to do a total of 4 rolls, so you regulate or deregulate as much as you need to. You may notice tipping forward, you get more of your quadricep. And if you roll backward, don't roll off your foam roller, by the way, you might feel something different in the IT band. Now you can do this for much longer if you feel like, oh my God, this is so tight, but I'm gonna come around to the other side. So carefully move yourself off of the foam roller. Other hip that you have not done yet, let's place it on the foam roll. The first time I'm gonna show how to regulate pressure. Top leg down in front, bottom leg at extension. You could drag or lift your bottom foot. I like to come down to my elbow, but you may feel better up on your hands. You decide. Rolling front and moving my arms and my foot. If you're a person like me, you want a lot of pressure. Gonna take a couple more, and then you will be done with this torture. By the way, some people notice they start to sweat profusely when they do foam rolling. That's normal if you're not really regular at it. It's a lot of physical work to hold yourself up. Okay, coming off. Woo! Let's just stand up and see how that feels. Just kind of move your legs a little bit, maybe do a side step or two. See how you feel. It didn't feel good when you were doing it, but it feels good now. We're just going to take a last salutation, arms up, inhale, exhale. I say to you, namaste, which means the light in me sees and respects the light in you. Namaste.